Hey, beautiful people. Today we're here to talk about what leadership roles can teach you that nothing else can. Do you ever wonder why leadership roles feel like you're being thrown in the deep end of a very deep swimming pool? Leadership roles don't just expose your strengths to you and everyone else all around you, they also expose your blind spots. We're going to talk about that. What if every leadership role that you put your hand up for, or that you get tapped on the shoulder for, or that you step into via making offers is really a masterclass in listening, in building trust, and in coordinating? I'm going to show you how to do that. By the end of the video, you're going to understand how leadership roles aren't just about positions of power and authority, but they are actually masterclasses for growth, for clarity, for self-reflection, and for trust building. There are 6 things that I have found that leadership teaches you that has an impact not just on your leadership in that particular role, but your leadership for yourself and your leadership for the rest of your life, and also has a huge domino effect across the rest of your life if you allow it. So number 1 is leadership shows you what you can't control and what to do about it anyway. When we think about control and we think about leadership positions, we think about people as resources for us to get things done. That's a bit of a trap that you can fall into. I've worked with lots of leaders who go, oh, I want to do this, I need more resources. And sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. But the most valuable thing that you can bring to the game is an understanding of how you can engage other people to do greater things than you could do on your own. That is really the essence of leadership. So as you think about yourself as a leader and you think about yourself in terms of not being in control of certain things, think about how you are going to engage other people successfully to be able to do what it is you see as possible, and how you can help them also see what's possible from their perspective in a way that they can contribute to the bigger goal. Trying to tell people what to do all of the time is going to burn you out. It's going to exhaust you. It's going to piss off everybody all around you. And it's going to put you in a position where you are constantly being the engine of everything that needs to happen inside the organization. When you recognize that you're not in control all the time, you also make the shift from doing to coordinating. So think of yourself, instead of being the person at a concert who's playing the violin, you're the orchestrator, you're the conductor who's bringing everybody and everything together, and you're looking to create beautiful music as a metaphor for how well people are coordinated across your organization. When you see people struggling and miscoordinating, that's when you need to step in, that's when you need to do coaching, that's when you need to do support, that's when you need to help them learn how to be able to coordinate and build trust with each other and deliver amazing value. So what you're looking to do is deeply understand the individuals on your team and what it is that they're bringing to the game and what their passion and their mastery is, and how you tap into that and orchestrate that to create beautiful music, which of course is a metaphor for successful projects, great initiatives, wonderful results, things that you all do that you could never do alone. The other thing you learn as a leader is that clarity is an incredibly important part of your role. It's not a luxury that you get to have. If you can build clarity and you can show clarity of purpose and clarity of intent and clarity of direction, you will really position people to be able to organize themselves around you. If you are changing your mind and bringing in new ideas and new ways of doing things on a constant basis, you're going to create turmoil and chaos. I, very embarrassingly, had a 360 done, multiple 360s, but one particular one stands out in my mind, and I'll probably remember it to the day I die. I had a wonderful team. I had about 25 or 30 people. We were distributed globally. My boss decided to do 360s I was welcomed it because I was super interested to learn from other people. And my 360 was actually, in hindsight, incredibly funny, but really awkward and embarrassing at the time. They were scoring you out of 9 or 10 on all the different facets of leadership. And I got, 9, 10, 9, 10. And I was like, great, 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 great. And then I got to the 5th or 6th page, and there was one where everyone was giving me 2s and 3s, just one. And the rest of them were all 9s and 10s. But the one was the chaos factor. It was me experimenting. It was me indulging my interest in new ideas, in innovation, in new thinking, in different ways of doing things. And my team were begging me to stop. Nobody had actually said that to me. They had written it on my 360. They basically said, Jennifer needs to give us time to settle in and deliver on the results that she's asked us to produce and that we've committed to producing with her, and stop bringing in new ideas and new ways of doing things on a constant basis. Hugely important lesson for me to learn. And I really recognized in that moment that leadership requires a lot of clarity, and it is not just clarity for you, it's clarity for everybody around you. The other thing that leadership teaches you is what I refer to as the cost of unspoken commitments. And what I mean by that is, if you have a number of internal customers inside your organization who think that you are doing something for them, and you haven't agreed it with them, and you haven't clarified it with them, and you don't have shared standards around the value that you're delivering together, you're going to find that it's going to erode and destroy trust. The same way that you need to do that with the people around you and above you, you need to do that with your people. If you find yourself getting frustrated or resentful or angry or impatient with somebody on your team, there's a fairly good chance that there is an unspoken commitment in there. And those unspoken commitments will erode your leadership capacity and put you in a position where people are uncomfortable or distrustful or resentful of you. That doesn't just apply in your work life. It applies everywhere else in your world. One of the things that I've really found is that leadership has been the fire, the furnace that has allowed me to be able to grow as a human being and have a lot more joy and a lot more deep friendships and a lot more valuable relationships inside and outside of work. Number 4, in terms of what do leadership roles teach you, is they teach you how to build trust intentionally. So a lot of us just assume that if we say what we're going to do and we do what we say we're going to do and we are honest and we show up and we engage, that people will trust us. There is a very specific way to build trust very intentionally, and I talk about it in a number of the other videos. But building trust intentionally is something that you learn how to do as a leader. You can design the process of building trust for yourself. So let me give you an example. If there is something that you want to do, say in another department, you're particularly interested in some work that people in an adjacent department are doing, and you decide that you are going to make an offer to the head of that department. There's a program within your company that allows you to be able to switch roles for 6 or 9 months. And so you make an offer to the person in the other department. You identify a project together that you're going to dedicate yourself to for 6 or 9 months. And what you do in that process is you've already identified them as someone who would be a very powerful customer for you for your work, a very powerful leader for you, and you are intentionally going out and building trust with them. I was running a webinar with a bunch of people the other day, and one lady said, hey, I have a new boss and I want to be able to understand how to engage with them effectively and quickly because I'm on a promotion track and I want to get promoted and I want to make sure that they know that. And my response to that was intentionally build trust with them. Sit down and look at it from their perspective and see where you can begin to make offers to them that will be valuable for them, and put yourself in a position where you are defining it from the perspective of building trust with them rather than defining it from the perspective of letting them know that you're up for a promotion and they better not drop the ball. Fifth thing is you learn to listen to what people are not saying. So many times in meetings, people will talk about topics, they'll get excited about things, they'll get angry about things, they'll speculate about what's possible. The thing to look for you as a leader is to look at who's actually making commitments to things, who is really going to run with the ball, who is really going to report back to you when that work is done, if you're the customer for the work, the internal customer for the work. So as you start sitting in meetings, recognize not only what people are saying, and this requires a lot of practice, but it is doable. Recognize not only what people are saying, but also what is not said. Sometimes you can do that now with AI. It allows you to be able to do transcriptions of all of your meetings, recognize all the voices, see what some of the follow-up actions are. And what I have found useful is it's not a reminder for me, but it's an opportunity for me to be, because I'm tracking the commitments anyway, because I've been doing this for so long, but it's very useful for me to also scan it and go, what did I expect was going to be committed to in that meeting and what didn't happen? So start looking for what's missing as well as for what is. I was running a session a few months ago with a really interesting board group, and we were talking about misaligned standards and expectations. And there was one of the guys in the group put his hand up and said, I just realized that I might have a huge misalignment with my wife around the work that she's doing and the work that I'm doing, and that I might actually have been carpet bagging her. Now, I'd never heard that expression before, even though I've lived here for 35 years, but carpet bagging is basically kind of mooching off her, was the way I understood it. And so he committed that he was going to go and have that missing conversation. And he promised to the group, he was a funny guy, he promised to the group that if he had that conversation and if he was indeed carpet bagging his wife, that he had promised that he would take her out to dinner and apologize and do all the necessary things. So he reported back to us the next day that yes, indeed, there was a conversation missing. Yes, indeed, he was carpet bagging his wife. Yes, indeed, they needed to set up that conversation of alignment of expectations and have it on a pretty regular basis, maybe once a week or once a month. So as you start thinking about missing conversations, remember they're not just missing at work, they're missing in other parts of your life. And you can use your, real life, your life outside of work, to really balance and learn from one to the other, because they definitely feed each other and they are all your real life. The sixth thing, and by now this will make sense to you, is I believe the most valuable thing leadership teaches you about is about yourself. Leadership is a place of self-reflection. We've all worked for leaders who haven't used it as an opportunity for self-reflection, who have used it as an opportunity to just, try and get stuff done, tell people what to do, command and control, boss people about. And we have also worked for leaders who see it as an opportunity for growth for themselves and growth for everyone else around them, and set big goals and big ambitions and somehow do magical things together. So as you think about leadership and your role in leadership and your opportunity to step into a leadership role, remember that I believe the most important thing is it is an opportunity for self-growth and self-reflection. And the more you do of that, the better leader you are going to be in terms of integrity and in terms of people's willingness to follow you and wishes to be working for you. As you think about this, and as you think about your next promotion into a leadership space, go to the comments below, go to www.getpromotedassessment.com, take the assessment, be honest with yourself, let me know how it goes for you, and let me know your thoughts on this video and how it has helped you at work. The community's building, we're beginning to get a lot of really good conversations going and a lot of great comments. It really helps me in terms of preparing and making the material valuable for you. So talk to me, I will respond, and I wish you the very best of luck in your next leadership role. Take care.